Welcome to the Experiment podcast, where we talk about life and business and how they daily intersect. I'm your host, Laura Dowdy. Let's get to some real talk.
Hey y'all, I'm back. It is Wednesday. We're 2 days before Christmas, and today's message is about slowing down. So I thought I would do something a little bit different. So if you're listening to the podcast, you'll definitely want to kind of take a peek at the YouTube's channel, Monarch Estates, and see what I'm up to, but you don't necessarily have to. Just kind of fun. You can gingerbread house along with me. That's what I'm doing. So part of that has to do with the fact that this is definitely an activity that requires you to slow down. And part of the lesson that I learned in taking an entire month off was just that, slowing down. As a absolutely committed workaholic, I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work to me. And if you can identify that with that, then you know it can be a constant challenge to balance yourself. Anyway, so again, today I wanted to talk about just some things that you can do to slow down. And clearly one of those, as I'm doing this, I'm going to try to pipe a little bit. I did start a little bit. As you all know, I am not a chef. I do not find thrills and joys out of cooking. Doesn't mean that I can't. It's just not a passion of mine. My mother did not pass that on to me. But anyway, we're going to attempt this amazing Trader Joe's gingerbread house here. And I may just stop because I don't want to make a complete fool of myself, but I at least did this part, and I didn't do too bad as far as like getting the roof and the sides and everything on. Anyway, so it is very important for you to determine your goals. Because your goals are what are going to drive you and keep you moving forward. But like I said, as a professed workaholic and growing up with parents who had amazing work ethics, it's really important for you to find a way to get some balance in those. And sorry, I have to show you guys this. In this awesome little kit, there's this cute little dog. Can you see that? Oh my God. So for those of you that are listening and you're not watching via YouTube now, I have this Trader Joe's kit, and it has the sweetest little gingerbread dog. And of course, when I saw it, I about cried because, as you all know from the past two podcasts, I lost Thomas about a month ago. And for those of you that reached out, mwah, thank you. I really appreciate you. And he was a 12-year-old German Shepherd who passed from mega esophageal, which you can look it up, whatever, but German Shepherds have it, Golden Retrievers have it. It was not fun, but he went in peace and all is well. Took me a while to get over it, but part of that is why I'm talking about slowing down, because I literally, instead of pushing myself through the grief, and let me add a note to that, in the process of Thomas getting sick, my father also came down with COVID and had a moment where his words are he had to decide to continue to breathe through the night because he knew that if he went to sleep, he might not wake up. That was the process that he went through. So that's pretty traumatizing, along with the fact that a dog that I've had literally with me 24/7 goes everywhere with me, travels with me, goes to work with me. I mean, I work from home, but even if I would go on an appointment. So a lot to process in a year that's been very heavy for all of us. But like I said, I purposely took the time to step away, and it goes completely against my entrepreneurial nature to do that. And I just want you guys to know that by me doing that, unbelievable the difference that I saw things in myself that worked, saw things in myself that didn't work. And I highly encourage you to take a moment and really figure out, do you really have to do this? So that's part of what, my post is about today is, slowing down, taking the time to, I know I'm trying to look at you guys, but when you're sitting down with someone and having lunch with them or whatever, turn your phone off. Don't even take your phone in. I mean, unless you're expecting a really, really, really important phone call, life will hold off for 30 minutes to, an hour of your time. It's really okay. The world's not going to end. And we just get so addicted, and that's really what it is. It's a dopamine push that you get from that buzz on your phone. So just keep that in mind when you are, trying to decide what is really important with your time. And another part we clearly have all learned. Can y'all tell I'm not really good at this? For those of you listening on the podcast, it's coming out the top and the bottom of this little piping thing. I'm doing the best I can, y'all. Anyway, so your health. Let me show you. I know I'm doing a gingerbread house right now, so that doesn't really count. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not even sure if it is edible, but you can see right over here, and again, for those of you listening to the podcast, I'm pointing to my blender and all of my isogenics. I've been with isogenics for 4 years. It's changed my life, and they have an immune boost that I take every day, and when I feel like I'm kind of running down, I'll take it twice a day. I do a cleanse pretty much once a week, and a cleanse is not like you're not running to the bathroom. For those of you that might be worried about that. And it actually is a cellular cleanse. So, I'm not sitting here trying to push isogenics on you. You decide for yourself, how do you make your health matter? Because no matter how much money you have in your bank account, if you don't have your health, then no amount of money is going to help you. It's just not. So I know you know that intellectually, but we talk about hustling, we talk about what your calendar looks like, and the 5 a.m. club, and all of those things. They're great when you use them to your benefit, but when they compromise your health, they become a detriment. So the last thing that I wanted to share with y'all is the absolute biggest lesson that I have learned, and I probably should just put this down and share with you, because I'm making a mess, and you'll just have to go to my Instagram and see the finished product if it's worth looking at. Anyway, so the biggest lesson that I learned is inspired action versus action out of responsibility. And being the oldest child, I absolutely feel responsible for a lot of things, and in being a CEO of my own company, being a coach, I feel like, the saying is leaders go first. So I try my best to set that example, and it can be really exhilarating at times, and it can also be very exhausting at times. So what I have realized is, in stepping back from a month and not posting at all, not even, here and there I would do stories, but I would only do those if I felt truly inspired to do that. It wasn't out of worrying about the algorithm or any of that stuff. So really ask yourself, are you getting out of bed out of obligation, or are you getting out of bed because you cannot wait to go and do what you have to do? Listen, I am not being ridiculous in the sense that absolutely you have to, you have responsibilities. We all have bills to pay. But I promise you that if you stop making that your excuse for taking responsible action versus inspired action, you will be blown away at how much more ease, flow, and everything moves faster when you take inspired action. So that is why I'm doing these 12 doors to 2021, because I am highly inspired now. I took the time for myself. I gave myself permission to grieve. I gave myself permission to take a break. I gave myself time to recoup from being physically and emotionally exhausted. So this year has been a lot for all of us. And so I have purged a lot over the past month. And like I said, I've been inspired to do these 12 doors to 2021. And hopefully this beautiful gingerbread house will look as adorable as it does on the package. We shall see. But thank you guys for joining me on today's Wednesday, the Experiment podcast. I try to keep it real. That's why it's called Real Talk with Laura Dowdy. And I absolutely appreciate y'all more than you know. And I will see you tomorrow on Christmas Eve. Be blessed.
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Experiment podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. And as always, follow me on Instagram at LauraDowdy_LE for Live Excellence. Go make a difference, y'all. The world needs you.